You know, there's this story that's been buzzing around for years, and every time you hear it, it can give you chills. It happened in this small town called Roswell, over in New Mexico. Picture this. It's 1947, and everything's just quiet and normal. Then one evening, the skies light up. Boom. Something crashes down. The townsfolk, they start whispering about a fallen flying object, something they've never seen before. But here's where it gets wild. People didn't just talk about some strange metal bits and pieces. No, they said they saw actual alien bodies. Now, you'd think that's just tales from a couple of people, right? But at that time, even the US government step in and say, "Yep, it's a flying disc." Everyone's freaking out, thinking, this is it. Aliens are real. But then, in a snap, the story changes. The same officials come out and say, whoa, hold on. It was just a weather balloon. A weather balloon? After all that talk about flying discs and aliens? It just seemed off. So what exactly happened? And maybe, just maybe, there's more to that tale than we've been told. And if you are also curious about what exactly happened in Roswell, then make sure to watch the video till the end. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos we upload. Getting back to the story, this all happened sometime around the summer of 1947, away from the city's hustle and nestled deep within the vast expanses of Lincoln County, New Mexico, about 75 miles north of Roswell. Destiny was about to knock on the door of an unsuspecting rancher named W. Mac Brazel. Mac wasn't one for tall tales, but on that fateful day between mid-June and early July, he found something unusual. The land he knew like the back of his hand was now home to a curious wreckage. Amongst the debris, Mac discovered oddities, shimmering tinfoil, resilient rubber strips, and some sort of thick, alien-like paper. Now, having heard the whispers and seen the newspaper headlines, Mac's heart raced with every beat, wondering if he'd stumbled upon one of those famed flying saucers. Realizing the magnitude of his discovery, he knew he couldn't keep this to himself. Who in Roswell would believe him? In a bid for answers, and perhaps a touch of validation, he scooped up some of that strange debris and made his way to the one man who might share his curiosity, Sheriff George Wilcox. And as the sun set, casting long shadows on the town of Roswell, Colonel William Blanchard of the local Army airfield would soon be pulled into a mystery that would echo through the ages. As dawn broke the following day, the town of Roswell was about to be thrust into the spotlight, becoming the epicenter of a story that would ripple through time. With a palpable tension in the air, the Roswell Army Airfield, RAAF, decided it was time to address the whispers, the speculations, and the wide-eyed wonder. The RAAF statement hit the town like a thunderclap. Yesterday, amidst the swirling rumors of a flying disc, reality dawned. Thanks to the keen eyes of a local rancher, the diligent efforts of our county sheriff, and the relentless pursuit of truth by our men, the intelligence office of the formidable 509th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force here at RAAF can now confirm we have a flying disc in our possession. At the helm of this revelation was Major Jesse Marcel. Known for his sharp intellect and unwavering dedication, Marcel had overseen the meticulous investigation of that enigmatic crash site and the intriguing materials it yielded. As the world outside Roswell waited with bated breath, Marcel and his team delved deeper, trying to unravel the mysteries of what had truly fallen from the sky. But just as Roswell's heartbeat began to race with tales of extraterrestrial visits, the US Army stepped in, casting a chilling shadow over the excitement. In an abrupt turn of events, they swiftly backtracked on their previous claims of the flying saucer. With almost a theatrical flourish, they presented a new explanation. it was nothing more than remnants of a weather balloon. To seal this revised tale, they released photographs. There was Major Marcel, the same officer who'd been so intricately involved, now posing beside what they labeled as mere weather balloon debris. The narrative had shifted, but the questions, they hung in the air, thick and unanswered. For years that turned into decades, the skeptics whispered, and the UFO enthusiasts questioned. The government's sudden pivot to the weather balloon story just didn't sit right with many. It was a puzzle with pieces that didn't fit, and the truth they believed was still out there. Then, in 1994, a bombshell revelation was dropped. The US Air Force released a report that sent shockwaves through the community. The weather balloon narrative? It had been a ruse all along. The real story was cloaked in the shadows of covert operations and Cold War espionage. The debris wasn't from some harmless balloon. It was from Project Mogul, a top-secret initiative. This wasn't about extraterrestrials, but about earthly games of spy versus spy. Project Mogul had crafted a string of high-altitude balloons equipped with cutting-edge microphones. Their mission? To silently drift over the USSR, eavesdropping from the skies, capturing sound waves that would betray the Soviets' atomic bomb tests. But just when you thought the Roswell tale had finally been set to rest, new layers emerged, each more perplexing than the last. Whispers turned into outspoken claims that the site didn't just hold wreckage, but also extraterrestrial beings. Eyewitnesses swore they saw not just metal and foil, but alien bodies. The government had another answer, tying these otherworldly figures to something far more terrestrial: parachute test dummies, as per a detailed 1997 report. Yet, as the years flowed, another theory, far stranger and eerily unsettling, began to circulate. The heart of this claim was an explosive book titled Area 51, an uncensored history of America's top-secret military base. The narrative it spun was neither of aliens from the far reaches of the universe, nor the clandestine work of American spies, but a scheme born from the cunning mind of Soviet leader Joseph Stalin. According to the book, an unnamed engineer, deep within the secretive corridors of Area 51, revealed a chilling tale. This was not the work of Martians, but the twisted designs of Josef Mengele, the infamous Nazi doctor, under Stalin's directive. The Soviets, in a twisted plan, had deformed adolescent children to mimic extraterrestrials and unleash them over New Mexico. Stalin's endgame? To watch America dissolve into chaos as these aliens descended upon them, flooding their radar systems with countless UFO sightings. Jesse Marcel Jr., son of the intelligence officer who was thrust into the heart of the original Roswell saga, brought forward another piece to this intricate puzzle. In the Roswell legacy, he recalls a night when his father came home with the very debris that had the world talking. Young Marcel described handling the materials that felt otherworldly, with symbols reminiscent of hieroglyphs, geometric patterns that seemed out of place, and yet strangely familiar. With Marcel Jr. being only 11, and with the Cold War's tension just starting to frost, some speculate, could the boy have glimpsed the Cyrillic alphabet, and his youthful imagination construed it as something more mysterious? But experts, like Schmidt and Linnaeus, cast doubts on such theories, emphasizing the lack of any concrete Soviet evidence backing such audacious claims. If Stalin truly aimed to spread panic with his grand scheme, then history would remember it as a spectacular failure. But one thing remains certain: the story of Roswell, with its ever-twisting narratives and secrets, is far from over. And maybe one day, we will see all those debris and bodies recovered from that crash. And that wraps up today's story. We really hope you found it interesting and learned something new. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to share them in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon if you haven't already, so you never miss out on our daily informative videos. Thanks so much for tuning in, and best of luck with all your endeavors.